I think it would be cool if like Santa Claus came into your house and you're like, oh my God, Santa Claus is real. And he pulls a gun out and then he makes you have sex with your wife in front of him. And he has like a drink in his hand. And he's sitting in the corner. He's just like, get naked. And you're like, what? Get naked.
He makes the most...
now touch her.
And he makes the most fucked up drink. Makes like
Pepto-Bismol and
he makes like a Moscow Mule with Pepto-Bismol.
Slower. Be more aggressive. What? More aggressive. You really think he's gonna kill you like at any moment? You got it.
I think it'd be sexy if he came down your chimney. He had like a gun, or like a gunshot wound in his gut, and he was like, "Help me, help me!" And you go to call to call an ambulance. He's like, "No ambulance, no police. Give me a bottle."
Right.
Give me a bottle of whiskey and a tweezers and a
lighter.
Grab me a lighter and an ember from that fire. And he just performs a bullet extraction. And then passes out, and you have to like nurse him back to health.
It'd be cool if he took you on you were losing faith in Jesus, and he took you on a tour to like horny women and men, and he pulled a gun on you, put it to the back of your head, and he made you have sex with these people all night long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's just like, it's this gift.
Spirit of giving, yeah.
But it's like also terrifying. And he's also masturbating at the same time while he has the gun out. He definitely did it a couple times. He's also walked away a couple times, came back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about him. He's taking me on his sleigh. I'm just like getting a ride, and I'm in the back. And he's just like he's dehydrated just from like all the work. And he just puts his hand back and he's like, hey, just will you spit in my hand? And I spit in his hand, and he jacks off to the next house.
It doesn't even look at you.
He has no interest in me. It just keeps him going.
He's like looking
all
at
night.
maps and like driving at the same time while jerking off.
He's got Google Maps pulled up.
I picture him. He's been flying around all day with a toothache, like delivering presents, and he's got like a stocking full of ice on his chin, like strapped to his head. And by the time he gets to my house, he's like, "Tool shed. You have a tool shed?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's around back." He's like, "Fuck out my way!" He pushes me down. And then I look, he kicks in the door of the tool shed and he grabs his pliers and he's like, and he pulls out his tooth and he's just blood starts running down his face and he spits out the blood and he throws the tooth on the ground and hops back in his sleigh and just keeps delivering presents.
Yeah,
it'd be cool. Like, it's late at night on Christmas Eve, and I'm out smoking a cigarette, and I hear like the Santa's Christmas sleigh landing, and I walk up to it, and I see like the reindeer. They're just like, you know what I mean, touching the ground with their hooves. It's like looking around and stuff. And Santa Claus is just straight up fucking someone in the sleigh. You know what I mean? And I like sneak up to it, and I see, he's on top. He finishes up. This woman is like fixing up her blouse and stuff. She's cold.
Mm-hmm.
He gives her a cup of hot cocoa, and he's like trying to get her to leave a little bit. He's like, I got like a really long shift coming up. I'm gonna ask you to leave. You know what I mean? You just witness this kind of just like kind of vulnerable situation happening, where he has needs too, but he also like doesn't want to get too involved with someone. And you can tell like she was like a little more invested in the situation, so you get to see like it's kind of sad for her. I mean, it's Christmas Eve. What is she gonna do? She's stranded. She's in the middle of nowhere. God knows where he picked her up.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, I'm sitting there, I'm on my computer, I'm by the window, and I'm going through, like cycling through different porno to see kind of like what I want to watch and jack off to. And I look out the window and I see Santa Claus, and he's got like his sack of presents, and he's just like huffing through the snow. And he looks at me, and I look at him, and I like get a real good look at his face, and then he just keeps walking. And as I'm scrolling through the porno, I see a porno with him in it, and and it's him having sex with two women with fake breasts at a pool in somewhere in California.
On a hazy day, you could hear the neighbors next door, the neighbors' father and son next door. And so they move into the house because they want to get away from them.
Easy day.
Welcome to the Fantasy Cast podcast, where three grown men pass the time by telling each other their deepest and darkest fantasies. Here we go.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mike, man.
What's your favorite Christmas song? Mine's the Slade one. I was just listening to it. Always puts a smile on my face.
How's it go?
Here's to you, Merry Christmas, everybody is here.
Mm-hmm.
Look to the future now. It's only just begun.
It's pretty good. It's catchy.
Something like that. It's really catchy.
I like, I don't think it's the best one, but it makes me feel good is I forget what it's called, but it's about how like Santa was delivering packages to somebody's house, caught the mom being naughty.
It's the Jackson 5. I caught Santa kissing Mama under a Christmas tree. Something like that.
Yeah. Where my mind goes is like, what if the mom did what she was supposed to do and gave the kids a bunch of NyQuil and they slept through the night and they never caught mom kissing Santa? Where would that go?
Oh.
You know what I mean? Where would that story end?
Put a pin in that.
Yeah. John, what's your favorite Christmas song?
You know that I think it's a Frank Sinatra song. We're coming down the chimney. You know what I'm talking about?
Who does it?
I think it's Frank Sinatra or Gene Autry. You can tell that he's drunk.
Oh, nice. I like a lot of the Bing Crosby stuff. And apparently he's just like one of the biggest fucking assholes in the world.
He used to beat his kids till they bled daily.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you're joking or not, but he was into some
That's what Aaron
pretty heinous stuff. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care. I love this music.
Yeah, you gotta separate those two. Otherwise, nobody would be fucking. You couldn't listen to anybody or appreciate any art because they're all psychopaths.
Anyone who needs that much approval is going to be a bona fide psychopath, sadistic freak.
Take Katy Perry,
extreme borderline personality.
Or Gwen Stefani. She used to make Gavin Rossdale eat his own shit in bed.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. She had that much control over him.
Because
she was his own shit.
Oh,
because she was working with that good. You know what I mean? For so much of her life, she had that drippy.
Yeah.
So he was just doing whatever the fuck she wanted. She had like a hold over his brain.
Wow. Something like that would really motivate you to eat better if you had to do that every day.
Yeah. Anyways, that's why they eventually broke up.
What you sipping on there, boss?
It's Jack and Coke.
That's a big one.
Big boy. It's a big boy.
How much was that? 50-50? Jack, 50 Coke? You got like 8 shots in there?
No, it's probably one shot.
You trying to get tanked?
A lot of I got a lot of ice cubes in there too. Actually, it's bullet bourbon. What it is.
Oh, bullet bourbon. Oh.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably a good opportunity to
bullet
reach
bourbon.
out, see if they want to do some sponsorship for.
I don't know much about them, but I'm going to look them up.
Your ass looks like you're on in a Ryan Murphy adventure right now, John.
Who's Ryan Murphy?
He's the guy who did Dahmer, American Horror Story.
Oh. It's too
The
dark.
original Dahmer with Jeremy Renner.
Dahmer. The original Dahmer. The original Dahmer.
The original Dahmer with Jeremy Renner.
No, the new one with
I still haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah, with
guy.
Evan.
I heard it's a pain in the ass to watch.
it is.
I didn't understand what the fuss was about.
The thing is that the police are the ones that are actually responsible for all of it.
That's what I heard too. They just kept
The police.
egging him on. Is the thing.
You find out that the police are the Dahmers.
Mm-hmm. They would walk.
They knew the whole time. See,
Yeah. In the that graphic novel about like the guy who's the neighbor of Dahmer, he would talk about the police would just drive down the street real slow next to Dahmer with their window open and be like, "What's up? What's up, pussy? What's up, bitch? You gonna fucking kill anybody today? You piece of shit. I bet you won't. I bet you won't." And then they would just drive away.
that is disgusting.
Just like egg him on, make him do it, and then they would pick him up the next day and be like, No, you did it all wrong. Here, you got to go do it again.
That is crazy.
You gonna puke, John?
Coming down off that kratom, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what does the kratom do to you?
It does different things for different people.
You take it before you run?
Yeah, what I do, honestly, though, what I do is, look, if I take it and just sit around and do nothing, for some reason, it doesn't make me feel extremely powerful.
Does it make you feel anything?
But I'll take it before I run, and then I feel completely crazy.
Is it
After I run?
Like for how long?
After I run, I come back, I'm flying high for half the day.
It tastes like mud, right? It's like kind of gross.
Well, no, it tastes good. I mean, mud water is good. If you can, it's the only thing compared to is like mud water, which has like turkey tail in it, chunga. It's got cinnamon, cardamom, cremini. I think it's this mushroom called trugger mushroom. It's like you just gotta slam it. I think you should do. I think you should do it.
They
I think
put
it's
it
fun.
in capsules too, so you can just eat it. Do it that way.
I don't know what the fuck. It is. I bought the capsules, didn't do a goddamn thing. Made me burp weird.
It's a plant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some.
Just buy some before they.
Yeah, they're rushing to Capitol Hill to take it
away
off
from
the
us.
market. I don't
Are
think
they?
So I think it's probably here to stay. They a lot of people use it to come off of like opiates
Yeah.
because it like acts on the same receptor as opiates do. Makes you feel
What
alive.
the fuck are we doing with this podcast? What the fuck are we doing? Who gives a shit about this anymore? You know what I mean? How many assholes do you know? Three assholes know each other, think that they're funny or cute or something. They make a podcast. Who gives a shit? Why are we doing this? You know what I mean? No one gives a shit. No one listens to it. I try to ask people to come on, like, you know what I mean? Asking my fucking neighbor to come on. He's like, I'm too busy.
Did you really?
He's unemployed. You know what I mean? Starved for attention. Won't even come on this thing.
No one.
I'm sick of it.
So no one has responded to you sending it to him.
No, I sent it to him, and then it's just dead silence.
Yeah, I got like one.
Do you know how that feels?
It's pretty demoralizing, huh?
It feels like shit. It makes me question why I'm doing this. It makes me question why these people are I would even consider them friends. They're sexual cowards. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys are sexual cowards. John, you're squirming. What's up? You seem so uncomfortable hearing me talking. You're squirming. You want something to say. Just say it. Just now's the time to say it because this shit's about to get wrapped up.
I didn't tell anyone about it. I just kept hinting at the fact that I was doing a podcast. And then I sort of like leaked it.
You're all cowards. Most of you are probably leftovers from the Reddit thing, doing little book reports. I can't even go on Reddit anymore because you guys kicked us off of it. Fuck you. Suck my shit. You know what? And I was raised. I don't just talk shit. I don't just call people out and stuff. I take that stuff and I turn it into something creative. So I wrote this poem.
Oh yeah.
I told you guys about it. I hope you're respectful about it. Let me read this shit. I sat down earlier on today. I sat down and I just wrote this out, and it just flew out of me, dude. I'm so sick of this shit. People emailing me and harassing me and telling me I'm a pervert or whatever. Haters. They motivate us. Haters, they tear at us. Haters, they terrify us. Haters, they fear us. I've seen the best eaten by their own. You come to me like a man on the street and leave me standing on my own. We came up together and you said, you will always be there for me. Summers pass and you turn cowardly. No more summers with your family. No more dinners feeling sunny. No more time sharing dreams and brandy. No more time spending thinking madly. Haters, they motivate us. Haters, they tear our dreams from us. Haters, they hide behind every door. Haters, they kill you the more you open the doors. You sold us out for advertisers and fame. I should have known when you mentioned your new name, your new choice of clothes, and the new places that you stay. You changed on me, my brother. You don't look the same. You're a different person, but with the same name. Haters, they terrorize us. Haters, they sacrifice us. Haters, they're just like me or you. Haters. What the hell else can I do?
I felt that very strongly, Mike. I felt that very, very strongly. Mm-hmm.
You know who you are. We got 30 listeners. At least 10 of you are just emailing me, messing with me, sending me mail. I got a package the other day. I don't even know what it was. It was fur in there. There was like a rotten animal. I'm calling the cops. I know who you are. Just don't. So I didn't want to just take it. I wanted to turn it into something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't just sit there with that hatred in your heart. You got to turn it into something positive.
He who holds hate, it's like holding a hot rock in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I take that energy and I turn it into something.
Yeah, that's why I'd like to volunteer at different charities.
That's cool. I'm into MMA. I'm into writing. I'm into this podcast. I'm into MMA. I funnel that energy into training my body to be
peak.
Yeah. I take it out. I put on music and it just drives me insane. And I'm just pounding those ropes. You know what I mean?
Whenever I feel that rage come inside of me, I donate to NPR, or I walk by like a food bank and think about volunteering. Or I post something on social media.
I'm probably going to start doing fights soon.
You ready for it?
I feel like I've been ready for a long time.
You've gotten your ass the shit kicked out of you enough times, just like growing up the way you did.
I can take a hit, bro.
I mean, me and you growing up in Chicago, we got the shit beat out of us probably weekly. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think anybody in an MMA ring is going to kick me in the kidneys the way that the kids on my block used to kick me in the kidneys. Yeah. Well, this today, guys, we're doing a Christmas episode. I don't want to say Christmas specifically. It's a holiday episode, so we're gonna try to bring some. I know we had to get that negativity out of our system, in order so that we could feel the joy and merriment of the holiday season. So I know we have some sexual fantasies that are related to the holiday season, the warmth and the love and the joy and the Yuletide. So I don't know if you guys want to jump in with anything, if the spirit moves you. I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about this time of year. Makes a lot of people depressed and horny.
For me, it just started. I always come in cold. So first things that came in my head, a yacht. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Say more.
Off the coast of Chicago, I'm on a yacht. Not a yacht, like a nice boat, a really nice boat. You know what I mean? And I own it. I'm not worried about bills. I'm not worried about what other people think of me on the internet, whatever. All of that's gone, okay? It's a nice winter day. I get up around 8 a.m. I live in a high-rise along the lake. I can just walk to the lake, get on my boat. 2 or 3 friends who are women. They're all wearing Santa Claus, like sexy Santa Claus outfits, but they're cool.
Yeah.
It's not dirty, but it's, it looks good.
Yeah.
We got a chef on the boat who's come prepared, this local guy who does like pop-ups and stuff. And I've always liked his stuff, so I hired him to come on the boat.
Yeah.
Comes on the boat. He's making us cocktails. He's making us like fun stuff, like cool sandwiches. And like chips and dip and like cool stuff like that. Okay, we got a bottle of champagne. One of the girls, the blonde one, opens a bottle of champagne. She's pouring that. And we're just out there. We got a big blanket. It's me and these 3 beautiful women. This big blanket just around our shoulders. We're drinking champagne. We're looking out at the city, watching it. And it just starts to snow, a gentle, slow snow. You know what I mean?
Snow can be very erotic.
Absolutely. And it's just, everything is just right with the world. I don't have any worries. I'm not like sweating like I'm normally sweating all the time. Or having like paranoid thoughts or just mentally beating myself up every fucking minute of every day of my life. You know what I mean? I'm just there and I'm present and I'm just with these 3 beautiful women. Yeah, sure, we fool around. We take breaks, fool around again, sometimes one-on-one, sometimes all together. But it's all cool, and there's no bad energy afterwards. There's no one's feelings are getting too caught up or anything. It's fun, it's play. You know what I mean? It's an actual vacation. You know what I mean? It's not like you're busting your ass to go to this place so you can go there and sweat your fucking ass off because you're just so nervous and just on guard about all the things that could happen.
Yeah.
And I just think that's a fantasy of mine. I think that would be so cool. Just like a perfect Saturday. Winter time in Chicago, Yeah, sure, it's gray, but there's something special about it.
Seems very peaceful out there on the water.
You can't hear the city.
Yeah.
I live in the city, but I jump on that boat a couple minutes later. I don't need to drive far away. You can't hear. It's like you're not even there. It's like you're the only one alive.
Yeah. Man, I would love to be out there with those beautiful women and just, just pick that chef's brain. Like, who have you served? Like, listen, what is Oprah like on her pancakes? What
keeps you going? The passion these guys have. You know what I mean? To go out there, it's hard work. They're working their asses off. But something drives them. And that always inspired me. It's just like the rough and tumble life of like working in the kitchen, like that TV show The Bear. You know what I mean? This guy's got tattoos up and down his arms. He's been in and out of this shit for a long fucking time. But something's pulling him through. Something it's more than the money. It's more than the fame. It's more than all that. It's like family or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I would be asking him. I'd be trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I would ask him, I would say, listen, come here. Come here. I know you don't want to, you don't want to give up any of your secrets. I would put my hand around his shoulder and I'd bring him real close to me and I would say, I saw 3 ingredients. I saw avocado, I saw tomato, and I saw salt. How the fuck did you get that guacamole to taste so good?
Yeah, you're swearing at him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure, you probably put them on edge a little bit, but these guys are used to that. In the kitchen, these guys scream at each other. They scream. The passion in them. You know what I mean? They're just biting. That's just the tension of just trying to deliver the best you can. Yeah, you're gonna scream a little bit, but at the end of the day, you know it's all for the greater good. It's like a family, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like brothers fight, sisters fight. You know, parents beat the shit out of each other.
My parents used to beat the fuck out of me, bro.
True. Whatever doesn't kill you, you know?
They would toss my head against the wall like a fucking playing horizontal basketball with my fucking brain.
Mm-hmm. Man.
But that was a different generation.
It was. Like the at the cookout when your dad opened up that briefcase of rubber hoses, I just knew that he had one for, you know, with each of your guys' names on it.
Yeah, you said to me, bro, that you were like blown away that we were both like kind of glowing and like kind of look back fondly on it, like proud of it. He was like, yeah, I used to beat him with these hoses. I'd be like, he beat the shit out of me, bro, with these hoses, huh? And it was just, that's just how it was.
How showed
you know
love,
what I mean?
You know, and yeah, it hurt, but you know, love hurts. Any song, any movie, whatever you watch, you listen to any song, they say love hurts. But anyways, I would tell the chef, I would say, you know, 3 ingredients. How'd you get that guacamole to taste so good? Like, I saw that those hot dogs that you took, those hot dogs you took out were Vienna. I know they're just regular Vienna beef hot dogs. But when you sliced them up, you did something to them. They just made them taste different. And
they massage it and stuff like that. They massage it and they cook it at just the right temperature or something. I don't know. They know something I don't
and that's
know.
It's some kind of magic that years and years of experience for cooking for some of the best, brightest in the world. You know, that kind of, I don't know if you want to call it love, but whatever it is, secret sauce goes into those Vienna hot dogs.
You throw 2 men in a room. One of them's John Lennon. One of them is just one of these haters off the bus or something. You know what I mean? You give them a box of popsicle sticks, leave them in there for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, John Lennon's going to give you something you're going to put on your mantle for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
This other guy, this guy who's not an artist, he's not going to know what to do. He'll probably eat them. I don't know. You know?
Yeah, he's lucky if he doesn't choke on them. You have to treat these people like they're 2 years old, you know?
They like being mistreated. A lot of people like being mistreated.
Yeah.
They'll never admit it, but they'll find ways to just push your buttons so that you end up being the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They put you in that position and they love it. They love the humiliation because then they don't have to reach for the stars.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's comfortable for them. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, what do you guys got?
Man,
go ahead, John.
You talking about food is so funny. Being a food guy. All right. It's it's Christmas Eve. It's my family's doing like we have food. The baby, we've got a baby. She's talking about Santa, telling us like how good she was this year and like what she wants. And so I send the baby to get to bed. I give her a kiss and tell her, Santa's coming tonight, and she's excited. I go out into the living room. I have a drink. with my wife. We're just talking. She asked me what good things I've done this year, and I talk about the time I broke bread with like mentally handicapped guy from work. Like took him out to eat, and she's like, "Yeah, that's really sweet." And I was like, "There's that other guy that was like, he was pissing at the urinal at work, and I could tell that he was like struggling." I asked him, I was like, do you need help? And he's like, I don't know. I've got this like prostate thing going on. And I'm like, just, pull your pants down, just ease up, and I got this. So I put my finger in his ass, massage his prostate, and he just immediately gets relief. And he's so happy. And she's like, well, what else have you done? And I was like, there's a woman that she's at a gas station. She was screaming. She's like in a fight with her husband. She's like on her cell phone. I was like, and I walked over and I knocked on the window. She rolled it down, and I put out my hand, and she looked at it, and I put 2 fingers up and got approval from her, and she said, yeah, go ahead. And I just put my hand down. She's wearing a skirt, and I fingered her until she squirted. And my wife was like, that's really good. And she's like, maybe she's like, I feel like you might get a visit from Saint Dick tonight. And I was like, who? And she's like, Saint Dick. And I was like, who is that? And she's like, he's a club kid from like New York City from the 80s. He's like part of that whole crew of like those club kids that ended up killing like the drug dealer, And I was like, I've never heard of that. And she's like, yeah, he like comes in the middle of the night and just like he just breaks your back. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you lay on your stomach in front of the fire, and she's like, you give him cookies that are covered in cum. You give him a plate of cookies that are covered in cum, and he comes in through the front door and fucks your ass raw, just completely raw. So I'm like, Jesus, that sounds incredible. So we're watching TV, and I'm cooking the cookies, and my wife's like, go ahead, like, come on the cookies real quick, and I'm gonna go to bed. So I jack off in the kitchen, come on like 6 really large chocolate chip cookies, and I set them like by the front door. And she's just like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. You just lay down, put a pillow under your belly so your ass is in the air.
A saucer of milk in front of your face.
This is so insane.
I'm gonna piss my pants.
So, all right. So I fall asleep. Just like, no, it's like 4:00 in the morning. I hear the front door open. I don't look, and I just feel. I feel like a foot on my neck, just like pushing me into the ground, into the carpet. And I sleep naked, so I feel like this hand reach behind, grab my penis, and starts tugging on it. So Saint Dick just kind of jacks me off from behind,
Mm-hmm.
like just like straight onto the carpet, and then he
What does he do?
he puts he takes his foot off my neck and just pushes on my back. I feel this penis, this like pre-lubed up penis, like push into me, and then there's just a hand, a small hand, a very small hand pushing on my back. And I kind of look back, see what I can see, and it's just, he's in all black, completely like head to toe black. And he just fucks the absolute shit out of me. I mean, just like, I'm completely just devoured by this guy, this little freak. And then he leaves. And I fall asleep. I wake up in the morning. My daughter, there's a blanket over me. My daughter sees me and she's like, "Dad, why are you out here?" And I'm just like, I'm like, "Good morning. Merry Christmas." I go, I make coffee, and I throw away my Keurig pod, and I see that there's like a black mask in the in the trash can. And I realized that my wife is Saint Dick.
Mm-hmm.
She just loves me that much that she treated me.
Man, Merry Christmas.
Merry
John.
Christmas.
Ah, that's a good woman.
It's a great woman.
See, it's like your shoulders dropped after you told that story,
relief.
you know?
Saint Dick.
I bet you slept like a baby after you got your back walls broken in.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Yeah. God, the amount of like she knew that she didn't pull any punches. She just went in there and broke you open like a piñata.
She knew exactly what I wanted, and she knew that, it had to be a once a year thing because I couldn't handle that every night.
It's the mystery, that the theatricality of it, you know?
Yeah, and efficiency, really.
Yeah.
You know,
That's how you keep it alive.
you're not a spring chicken. You can't have your ass annihilated like that repeatedly. It just has to be once a year.
Right.
You're probably not going to heal up from that until March, maybe. Take some creatine.
Some creatine, some
It's like a new it's like a new tradition where, you know, on Christmas Day you're then like shitting blood all day. You know, that's just part of it.
Yeah.
Of the warmth of that day.
yeah, it keeps me from overeating on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Mm. Did you tell her that you knew it was her?
No,
Or is it just kinda like-
we keep that a secret and
Yeah.
just hope that it happens next year.
Yeah. So she thinks that you think it was a club kid that broke into your house. All right. Well, I got something. I've been thinking a lot about this one. So it's, nice, beautiful winter day. Not too cold, crisp. It's not windy. It's probably like, between 32, 36 degrees out. And I'm getting ready to go down to the Christmas market, the holiday market that they have in Chicago, and it's very like it's in a neighborhood that's really like they really lean into the European aspect of it and the like European cultural thing. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go down there, get fucked up on steins of beer and eat some pretzels, and I walk in there and it's the polka music is raging, and there's all sorts of great scents, and I have a 44-ounce beer, and I'm just getting lit up, and I eat bratwurst, and I'm just feeling great. And the whole thing is going on, and I show up alone, so I'm kind of looking to meet somebody there, maybe, or just get some kind of. It doesn't even have to be like for romantic. Just get some kind of camaraderie, the joy of the season. It's important to spend it with people, and so I go down there to try to make some friends, and I end up talking to this old head who's like been in the neighborhood for a long time, German immigrant, and he's like, hey, it's a good day to be German today, huh? And I'm like, I guess so. This is a hell of a party, huh? He's like, yes. I cannot wait for the soup making later today. And I say, soup making? I've never heard about that. He's like, oh yeah, go down to the cultural center and they'll show you it's a strong German American tradition. And I go, yeah. He's like, yeah, sit down. I'll refill your beer. I'll tell you about it. So I'm gonna stop trying to do any kind of accent because
I like it.
Fuck it up. So
I really like it.
it always ends up being Russian.
Yeah, it's cute.
So he's like, back in the day when the first wave of like German settlers came in like the late 1800s, they moved to the Midwest, and it was very cold, the Great Lakes area in the wintertime, and they weren't really terribly familiar with the landscape and like what to farm, what to hunt, things like that. So after the fall harvest, they would have to kind of really keep a tight lid on all of their resources so they could make it through the winter. And so what developed is this tradition where after the fall harvest, they would eat all their corn and turkey and everything, all these like American food and different gourds, and they would be fat and well fed, and all the men would get together and jack off into the bladder of a fish and freeze it, put it off in the woods somewhere, or bury it or something like that, and it would freeze. In the event that it was a harsh winter and they couldn't find any food, they would have that come to then sustain them for a certain period of time, and they would make it into a stew with other like whatever root vegetables they could find that were still growing. So he was telling me this, and he's like, yeah, and it turned into this tradition where they would select all of the most beautiful women from the village, and they would dance around and do like completely naked. They'd have a big bonfire in the middle, and they would do candle dipping where they'd have different hot wax stations, and they would dip a candle in the wick in. It would get a little bit bigger, and then they go to the next station, dump the wick in, completely naked, and all the guys would stand around the fire, jacking off, passing around this fish bladder, and then blasting into it. And so I'm like, that sounds incredible, like a good slice of history. I'm glad you told it to me. This is the kind of history that you can't read in a history book. It's word of mouth, passed down generation to generation. So he's like, yeah, go over to the cultural center. So I go over there, and there's like boom, 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 like old tribal, like Nordic music playing from before any of these countries were ever formed. Like pagan, before any kind of like Christian religion came. It's like boom, 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 boom. And I walk in, and it's completely dark, except there's these naked women frolicking around, dipping candles. And there's a whole bunch of guys with like, just like, regular Chicago guys with, fighting Irish tattoos and shit like that, just jacking off and passing around a fish bladder. And I'm sitting there and watching. I'm like, wow. And there's this one woman that I just keep seeing, and she keeps locking eyes with me, and she's clearly like the belle of the ball. And as she's going around, she'll look at me and make eye contact with me as I'm standing there, knowing that I'm kind of like, I'm an outsider, I'm just learning about this today, and she knows that. So she looks at me, and she's, the wax is like, she jerks it up, so like the wax kind of sprays on her naked body. Different shapes form on her body. It's very titillating. And so I watch this fire rages, and these guys are just beating off into this thing, and then they bring out a cauldron, like a big cauldron, and they're like stirring it, and they dump all the cum into this gigantic vat, like soup vat, and they're stirring it, and the lights go on, everybody cheers, they put out the fire, and the women get dressed, and it becomes kind of like a cocktail party, just like everybody's chatting and talking. Oh, wasn't that cool? That's so interesting. That's so great. It's like so historically significant. And they're just going around, and there's waiters walking around serving glasses of this cum, this cum soup that they made. And I'm like, I'm not fucking drinking that shit. You got to be kidding me. And so, I've been pretty fucked up at this point. I've had probably about 80 ounces of beer, and I've been sticking Adderall in my ass for the last couple days. So I'm pretty fucking revved up. And so I stick around. I shoot the shit with some of the people, and this woman that was staring at me through the ceremony just keeps peeking around the corner, catching my eye, ducking away, or she'll get in a conversation with somebody and then be talking to somebody and nodding and sipping on a glass of the cum soup and the German cum soup and looking at me, and then when I walk over to talk to her, she'll just be gone. Somebody will walk in front of me and I'll look and she'll be gone. So I'm like, this is this a figment of my imagination? Am I chasing ghosts here? What the hell's going on? So a few drinks later, whatever, I'm going outside for a cigarette and I hear a commotion in the alley. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I look around the corner and I see this girl is trying to leave and trying to catch a cab home. Her participation in the event is over, but these skinhead guys, these German Nazi skinhead guys, keep trying to lift up her skirt with a stick. They're chasing her around, trying to lift up her skirt, seeing her butt with a stick. I say, hey, you guys, hey, get out of here. Go on, get out of here. And they're like, oh shit, run. And so they run away. I scare them away, I'm like, I see you. And they're like, get out of here. So they run. And I walk up to the woman and I'm like, hi, sorry those guys were being such jerks. I don't think I ever got to introduce myself. And we talk a little bit. And I was like, do you want to get out of here? And she's like, well, the reason why I was looking at you is I noticed you didn't drink any of the cum soup. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of not really my thing. And she's like, well, I would love to spend the rest of the evening with you, but you got to drink the cum soup. And she pulls out a thermos. And they're like, they sent this home with me. They had a bunch left over at the end of the night. One of the good things about doing this job is they let you take some of the cum soup home with you at the end of the night. And so I'm like, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling the vibe. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And she's like, I also noticed that you didn't come. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And she's like, you're going to have to come into this thermos. So I do. It's cold out. I pull my pants down. I get my dick hard. It takes probably about 15 to 30 seconds longer than normal because of the cold. And I rope into this thermos. And I drink my own cum, as well as the cum of probably 30 to 40 other guys. And she takes me by my hand. And she hails a, what do you call those things? Like a horse-drawn carriage, right? And we get in there and we're all curled up behind, in the back of this horse-drawn carriage with a blanket on, and we're sipping hot cocoa. And the driver takes us down to the Montrose beach, or the Montrose rocks, and we're sitting there curled up in a big blanket, looking out, watching the sunrise, doing whippets. And I'm so fucked up I can't even tell that my foot is sticking out of the blanket, and I get frostbite. And I have to go to the ER, and I never see her again. She's just disappeared, and I start to wonder, was it all just a figment of my imagination, or did it all actually happen? And they said, in addition to the frostbite, we had to pump a bunch of cum out of your stomach.
It's like Rod Stewart.
Or Lil' Kim.
Because you were just completely backed up and it just wasn't passing through and it was clogging you up. So, I knew some of it was true at least.
The energy in that room must have been off the wall, though. The fire raging, all these guys.
It was very, very tribal. Back when, a lot of stuff has happened in various civilizations, but a lot of people forget that a lot of Europe was very primitive for a long time. You know, like people having to eat their own cum just to survive. So
that was crazy. How much cum would you have to drink to get your stomach pumped?
I think that's
And does it actually?
a lie.
It can't happen, right?
That's got to be a lie. Like
some genius came up with this great rumor.
One of the funniest things ever.
It's so stupid.
It like ruined Lil' Kim's career for like.
No way.
I mean, it was. I definitely was like, yeah, this happened.
This happened.
She had so much cum one night that she had to fucking go to the ER.
Yeah, I heard that rumor too.
OD'd.
I was like,
that happened to my cousin.
Like this chick OD'd on cum.
No, that does happen. That happened to my cousin.
Oh yeah.
The family is like doesn't want to talk about it a lot, but there was like I guess there was like a party. And it happened to my cousin.
That's crazy. What are the symptoms of a cum overdose?
Her eyes were completely white, except for the pupil. And it would like, I think, they had like a hard time walking. They had like memory problems after that, and I think like digestive stuff. It messes up your flora in your side of your stomach, and you actually have to get like a healthy person's feces. You have to get that like injected into your own butt to make it like regulated again, because the bacteria is all gone because the sperm ate it all.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that, but when sperm don't have anything to do, like they don't have like an egg to go to or whatever, they go buck wild. They just eat anything.
I mean, it's powerful stuff.
It's like getting bit by like a starfish in the ocean where you have to pee on someone.
Yeah.
Starfish.
So wait, what's the fish?
The jellyfish.
Jellyfish. Yeah.
So I could see if somebody had a belly full of cum, that once the sperm is just fucking dicking around, getting bored, they just start to eat them from the inside out. eat all the good. They start with the good bacteria in your stomach, so you have to take probiotics.
Here's a fantasy, guys. Christmas related.
Yeah, hit me.
You're peeping around. You're a peeping guy. You don't believe in Christmas. So on Christmas Eve, you go and you abandon your family. You're like, fuck this bullshit. I'm not participating in this capitalistic bullshit. You know what I mean? You have that attitude even though you're married and have a kid. Because you're angry at your parents for being Christian and you're from a small town or some shit. You moved to the city. Okay, so but you're actually a pervert like all these guys are. So you're peeping Tom going around from house to house. You go to one house and you're like, wow, this is like these guys really believe in Christmas. I'm really going to peep on them. You know, when you're taking it personal, the more people are into Christmas, the more you peep. You're peeping in there and you're like, wait, why are these guys all small? Oh my God, this is like is this like a bunch of little people? And you realize, oh my God, these are Santa's elves. Okay. Your foot hits like a laser line and a bunch of bells and whistles shoot off. A bunch of the elves come out in tactical gear, kidnap you, knock you out, tie you up to a chair. You wake up in a basement. They just start spoon feeding you their shit. You know what I mean? They collect all the shit, one big bowl. And one is just, there's like a trail. There's like one by the bowl, one on your foot, one on your knee, one on your hip, one on your chest, one on your shoulder. And they baby bird it to each other. Another one's holding your mouth open and they just spit it in your mouth, close your mouth, and you have to swallow it. So you're just there all night long eating elf shit.
yell fudge.
Yeah. And then you're like, and when they're all done, they're like, oh, so you're all done. You think you're gonna go home now that there's no more shit? You're like, They unzip your pants, and they all like take turns making you come with their hands and stuff. That's it. Can you imagine what that would be like? That would be so crazy.
There's got to be one of them that makes your rope better than the others. You know, like you're sitting there getting
well, you crack
jacked off by them.
You crack at a certain point, and then they own you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You're reprogrammed.
Well, you're sitting there getting jacked off, and you're like,
you're a tool to them.
You go into the room, they're spoon feeding you shit. You're looking around, they start jacking you off. There's always one elf that you're like, I hope this guy jacks me off. Is there something about him that you're like attracted to? You're like, I hope it goes around. I hope it's not just like, by the time it gets around to this guy, like I'm still able to nut.
That was just one right off. That was one I was just thinking of. I don't know what it is, brother, but something clicked in me and I just went for it. I don't know what's going on up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was thinking of one. Just bear with me. It just creeped into my brain, so it's not fully flushed out. I'm setting up a bunch of Christmas stuff in my front lawn, like lights and shit like that. And I try to be a smart ass, and I try to like make like the Grinch who stole Christmas is on his knees, and Santa Claus has a gun to the back of his head, and he's about to execute him. You know what I mean? The neighbors are complaining. They're like, "This is poor taste. It's not funny. Nobody likes it. It's embarrassing, to be honest with you." Like the guys that actually know me. Not just random neighbors, but the ones that I'm like kind of friends with, they like pull me aside and they're like, listen, you got to get this shit off your front lawn. It's embarrassing to the neighborhood. Like people are writing, like bloggers, like neighborhood bloggers are writing shit about it. Like it's on Nextdoor. It's just embarrassing. And so I'm like, man, fuck you. It's only going to be up for the next, 3 weeks and then I'm going to take it down. So I double down. I do one of, in the beginning of Barbed Wire, how Pamela Anderson is like swinging on a swing and she's topless and getting like sprayed with water. I have a Santa Claus with a beard and a hat, but it's a blow up doll with titties and it's like swinging on a swing that I set up in my front lawn. I have one where it's an elf that's naked that's getting trampled by the reindeers and the reindeers are shitting and pissing on it. It's like explicitly clear that this is what's happening because I've taken a lot of time to like render it and represent it there. I'm starting to get some negative attention. So I'm really just pushing it because I'm like to be honest with you guys, I probably wasn't going to make it into the new year. There's a bullet with my name on it down in my, in my pistol that I've got nobody in my life. So, I was just hoping to get a couple, just really trying to take this thing to the extreme. And now that I got all this attention, it's starting to give me a reason to live, So I do like, just different stupid topical shit about like not like anti-vax stuff and like how it's stupid to wear a mask indoors and whatever the like outrage thing is, like of the trans bathroom stuff. I just make it like a Christmas thing about it. And the neighbors are like, this is fucking, like somebody calls the police. They get try to get like the local political leaders like involved to like come and get me to shut it down. So I chain myself to the front of my house to some of like the stuff, and I'm like, if you bring a bulldozer in there, you're gonna have to fucking kill me. This is America. This is my right. This is my free speech. Like I can exercise this. If you don't like it, just don't look at my fucking house. Or like we rented a bulldozer. We're gonna bulldoze this shit down. So I chain myself out there, and they don't have the balls to do it. But they don't know how to use a bulldozer, so they leave it on neutral, and it goes down a hill, and it crushes me and skins me alive, and I bleed out right there in my front lawn, and it's red, and Christmas trees that are up there, and it's like red and green, and it actually looks really beautiful. So that's all I got.
I was thinking about same sort of situation where it's Christmas, it's Christmas Eve, hanging out with the family, and they both want to stay up late to like talk about Christmas, and I'm just like, I want to jerk off really bad. I'm just the sooner you go to bed, the sooner Santa comes. And so I jack off from like 9:30 a.m., 9:30 p.m. to like 4 a.m., just watching everything I can.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually Santa Claus shows up. He comes down the chimney. He comes down feet first. And his suit just splits in half, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just his ass. Just hanging out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hanging out by the fire. And I could sort of jack off to it for a little bit. I spent a few minutes just admiring it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Stunned.
I just go over towards, I'm just like shocked at how it's just big.
Is this
it's beautiful. I'm like, holy fuck, is this real right now?
Mm-hmm.
While I'm jacking off, I go over there and I spank it as hard as I can. I can spank it. There's like it leaves a welt on his ass.
Is he like stuck in the chimney?
He's just like, oh. And I hit it one more time. He's just like, oh. I'm like, Santa, you okay? And he's just like, I'm okay. I'm like, should I keep going? And he's like, uh-huh. I'm like, oh, really? So I pour a little water on I just put the fire out. I don't want to burn the guy. His ass is just completely out. He's shaved. He's completely shaved. And I'm like, what do you want next? And he just starts sort of yelling stuff, and I can't hear it. There's so much reverb with the chimney. Mm-hmm. I live in a huge house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so fucking rich. This chimney's enormous. And I'm like, Santa, you want me to eat it? And he's like, uh-huh. So I just put my head down there. I laid down like a little blanket across the wood, because there's like hot embers. So I laid like a wet blanket, put my head down there, and just start eating his ass. I'm sucking on his balls a little bit. And I can hear that he loves it. He's moaning a little bit. Just hear this crazy reverb just running through that fucking chimney. And I'm like, Sam, I'm like, should I fuck it? Should I fuck it? And he's just like, yeah, fuck it. So I just sort of I get in there as far as I can. My legs are in both the corners of the chimney, and I just start fucking him. I come and come inside of him, and he just shoots up, breaks my chimney, and that's it. That's all I got.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love it that this Christmas you both gave it and you took it. My my fantasies keep getting gayer and gayer.
That's what wintertime is,
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to get cozy, do things that make you feel comfortable, maybe you'll regress. I know, you can, dig up that old computer, look up some old porno you downloaded, maybe in college or something, take a peek at it, remind yourself of the past, you know what I mean? Think about how far you've come, and just, meat and potatoes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, get back to
Ain't
basics.
nothing wrong with it.
No.
Dude, I'd love to just fuck Santa Claus's face. But like in like a just to see what the rapport would be like back and forth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mean fuck, like get a blow. That's lewd. I mean, like, I wonder what it's like, you know?
Yeah. Like, how does he work it? What does he do with it?
Because he's old as hell too, you know what I mean? But he knows something.
Yeah, he's he can't die. He's been alive forever. Must have learned something. I mean, the fucking guy knows how to fly.
Yeah, he can do fucking anything.
Yeah.
He's like a lizard tongue. Dude will go straight to your ass. He don't care.
No.
It's Santa style.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy to think about.
Can we end the podcast with us making Santa licking sounds?
Like Santa's licking, or like
Yeah, like Santa's licking our asses.
yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
All right, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Mike.
Thanks for sticking with us. This is probably going to be the last episode. No one gives a shit. This fucking stupid. I don't know why we're doing it. It's going to ruin my life. And but who cares? I got nothing else. No one gives a shit about me anyways. There's nothing to look forward to in life. So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
Mike.
Christmas.
I love you guys.
Love you guys. Good night.
I'll talk to you later.
Good
Ciao.